Hello, hello, and welcome everyone to the Doctor Janine Show. You may be wondering, why is she wearing the sunglasses indoors? We're talking about why we shouldn't be wearing sunglasses outdoors today in the Doctor Janine Show. Say hello and welcome on in. We're also talking more about castor oil. If you've seen the last few shows, we talked about some benefits of castor oil. We had some great recipes as well for our lashes. Today we're talking about for vision and how you can use castor oil for your eyes and to clear up your eyesight. We're also talking what's here? We've got the famous poop platter. Yes, we're talking poop today, and 3 things you should never be seeing in your poop. So stay tuned for that, as well as fake vitamins, something else to be looking for in your vitamins that you shouldn't see on that label. Say hello. Please let me know where you're from, and please share today's live with your friends. Let's say Herbal Harmony, nice to see you. Thank you for sharing already. So great to have you here. I'm going to put these down for a second. We're also talking a little bit about the fatty liver. So if you had questions, what causes a fatty liver, we will be talking about that as well. And of course, like with every show, I share my tips as to how we can get healthier from the inside out. And again, that whole mind-body connection. Now, if you missed last week's show, we talked about fake juice. We also talked about belly fat. We made that great eyelash serum. I'm going to check in with you to see if anybody has made that. We also talked a little bit about fatty liver last time and some side effects, some good ones, of using castor oil. So I hope you've enjoyed the shows up until now. If you're new here, please say hello. And please make sure that you're following and make sure that you hit that subscribe, that share button as well. I see that Jerry's already sharing this morning. Thank you so much for sharing today's live. Omal's from Kuwait. Hello, nice to see you. Suzu Aman, nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in today. Rena in India, thank you for saying hello. Georgian Cottage is here as well. Hello, thank you for tuning in this morning, as well as Miriam or Mariam. Francis, nice to see you. Wilfred, thank you for sharing. And NKB Precious 2, thank you for sharing today's live. Elohim, thank you for sharing. And Ephra, thank you for sharing. So many people sharing today. So great to see you. Alex Dad in the Philippines is here. William in West Virginia, hello. Thank you for tuning in. And Rosa is here. Yes, Rosa. Yes, I love that question. Castor oil can definitely help with gut health. That's something that we talked about last week. Now, don't forget, this is a very interactive show. Please pay attention to the content because we will be having some quiz questions coming up, and we have a prize coming up. This is very special. The collagen from our great sponsors at VitaTree Nutritionals. We thank them for making the Dr. Janine Show possible in the first place. Okay, are we ready to get going? Let's get going. Let's first talk about fake vitamins. Now, I was on television last week for a few days, which I call the marathon, and I have a bunch of live shows. And this is something that is really eye-opening for a lot of people, that you don't realize that the vitamins, even the high-end expensive ones that you may be taking, may have some compromising ingredients in there. And did you know that most vitamins on the market can contain up to 95% filler just to fill up those capsules? Okay, so let's imagine that this is a vitamin capsule. Now, in a good quality vitamin, all of the raw materials and hopefully whole food raw materials are going into that capsule to fill up that capsule. But what's happening in the industry is they can be using a lot of filler just to fill up that capsule. That's why often capsules, you'll see a white powder inside a capsule or it's a hard tablet. That is up to 85, 95% filler. And what is that filler? This is what I want you to look for on your vitamin labels. It may be labeled as cellulose or microcrystalline cellulose. This is made from wood chips. So if you like to be ingesting your wood chips, that's okay with you. But for me, it's not something that I want to do. And there are some side effects that can go along with ingesting this in your vitamins and you didn't even know it. And that's what I like to share with you to really educate you about what is going on in the vitamin industry and how you can make some better choices for yourself. So isn't that shocking? Hello, hello. Thank you to Wilfred in Trinidad and Tobago. Nice to see you. Good morning. I hope it's nice and sunny there. We're getting a bit of sun here in Canada, which is amazing. And is it Patrina's also here in Trinidad? Hello. Well, I guess we have a little following in Trinidad. Well, thank you for tuning in today. Sage Moon, thank you for sharing today's live. And Izzy, thank you for the follow. So many new followers, which is amazing. I'm so glad that everybody was, and Chevet is here sending love from Montreal. Thank you so much. So kind and so sweet of you. And of course, all your questions, make sure that you I have my team behind the scenes. So if you see a comment from Team Dr. Janine, that's my team behind the scenes that is helping to answer your questions. Okay, now let's talk about some of those side effects. So remember that microcrystalline cellulose, which could be making up a lot of what you're taking in your vitamins, your supplements, made from those wood chips. Now we'll be talking about why we should not be wearing our sunglasses outside, okay? So that's going to be coming up in a few moments, so stay tuned for that. So wood chips, yeah, microcrystalline cellulose in your vitamins. I want you to be really aware of this because you really have to check your vitamin labels, the non-medicinal ingredients. That's where you're going to see this labeled cellulose or microcrystalline cellulose. That is an indication that it's in there, okay? So what are some side effects of having that cellulose in your vitamins? Let's take a look at the list here. Okay, so number one, because it is a type of fiber, the wood chips, it can cause some digestive upset. So number one, it can cause a lot of gas. Number two, it can also cause, of course, a lot of bloating. So you've got this distended abdomen. You're not sure why. Maybe it's because of your vitamins that you're taking, okay? Please hit that share button. Make sure you are letting your friends know about this. Nice to see you in Qatar, Robert. So great to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. Well, okay, how many people take vitamins? Put in one of the comments if you take vitamins. And are you checking your vitamin bottles? Maybe not. Okay, let's go on to number three. Of course, diarrhea can be another cause. So when you're taking this type of fiber, it can cause loose stools. And number four, of course, decreased absorption of other meds and even the vitamin itself that you're taking. So imagine you've got all that filler in that vitamin. And this is what I call a fake vitamin because this isn't all natural ingredients. It's not a whole food supplement that you're taking if they're adding some of this filler in there. And because it is a fiber, now you are potentially quenching or trapping those nutrients in the vitamin itself that you're ingesting. Or it could be if you're taking your vitamins with your medications, that could also be trapping some of, the efficacy of your medications, something that you probably never thought about before. But that's like, I call it like it is here on the Doctor Janine Show, helping to make you aware as to what you're doing naturally and sometimes not so naturally. Okay, so it is quiz time already. All right, we're going to go over here, and it's quiz number one. Okay, so this is our first quiz question for the show. Remember, this is a very interactive show. I want to thank everybody who's here today, and I want to thank our sponsors. So Vitatree Nutritionals Whole Food Vitamins, we thank them for making the Dr. Janine Show possible in the first place. We have a lot to be playing for. So this is the collagen that we're playing for today. Is everybody ready? Now, once you see that question come up on the board, I'm going to go over there. The first one is super easy. So even if you're just tuning in now, I think you're going to be able to guess the answer to this question. Okay, are we ready? You're going to have 30 seconds to answer. Put it in the comments. And are we ready? Let's go. Question number one, true or false? Microcrystalline cellulose is a common filler found in supplements. Okay? You got 30 seconds on the clock. Let's go now. Get your answers in. All right, awesome, awesome. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in today. Okay, everybody get your answers in. You've got 10 seconds on the clock. Remember, you're playing for a prize, so just do your best. I see a lot of good answers coming in. Good job, Irene, Patrina, Mia, Deb. So many people here. Pooja, good job. And yes, okay, so let's reveal that answer, of course, is true. So yes, very commonly found filler in supplements is that microcrystalline cellulose. Okay, now I do want to congratulate last week's winner. Okay, so last week's winner of the Vitatree Fat Factors was, let's see, Blessing Ngozi Ozege. Did I say that right? I hope so. Of the Vitatree Fat Factors, so I hope that you enjoy that. It will be coming out to you. Please make sure that you are following Team Dr. Janine so that the team can reach out to you and get your address so that that can be sent out to you for free. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Now let's continue about poop. All right, now everybody knows that I like to educate about poop, and having a healthy poop is something that we do every single day, or we should be doing every single day. If you're constipated, then that's a problem. But let's talk about 3 things that you should never see in your poop. Okay, we're going to be talking about castor oil. So if you're just tuning in, you missed the introduction. We're talking about castor oil for vision and how to use that. So that is coming up. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. Okay, let's talk about some things. And this is one of my posts that went viral very recently. If you haven't yet seen it, let's talk about 3 things that you should never see in your poop. Okay, so number 1 is blood. Okay, you shouldn't see blood in the poop. That is, I know, very alarming, and it's something that you're definitely checking with your doctor. But if it is blood, and if it's happening once in a while or quite, recently, and it's something that you're definitely getting checked, it could be hemorrhoids. So it could be something that's not too super scary. And there are internal and external hemorrhoids. It's something that can usually be relieved and goes away on its own. But it could be something a little bit more serious. So if we go over to Lucy really quickly, if you're seeing dark blood in the stool, it could mean that there's some type of bleeding higher up in the digestive tract, which can happen if you've got gastritis, you've got ulcers, that could be a problem if there's blood. Now, if it's a brighter red color blood, that could be other things as well. It could be a bleed that's happening lower on, down in the intestines, so that could be, obviously something that you want to get checked out and diagnosed as well. I've got a ton of videos and content on healing your gut and leaky gut syndrome and inflammation in the gut, so make sure you check it out if you're new here. This is amazing. Okay, so number 2, another thing that you should never see in your poop is, number 2, undigested food. Except for things like maybe very fibrous corn or beets that you may see something that's passing through because your body hasn't had the ability and your gut microbiome hasn't had the ability to break it down. But really, we shouldn't see undigested food in the stool. And especially once you eat, and if it's evacuated very quickly, that's an indication that maybe you've got leaky gut syndrome. So if you don't know what that is, again, I have a lot of content on this, but what that means is that those tight junctions have opened up in the gut lining, and now food and other particles and parasites and things, which we will talk about today as well, could be passing through. Yes, we will be talking about parasites today, so stay tuned for that. It's one of the favorite subjects that people go, oh no, I don't want to know about that, but we will be talking about that, okay? And number 3, okay, so what should we not be seeing? I'm going to show you some really fun pictures in just a second. We're going to play a little game. Okay, we should not be seeing parasites or their eggs. Now, I know not everybody looks at their poop, okay? Not everybody is comfortable talking about poop as doctors are. However, it's something that I do recommend that you look at your poop once in a while just to make sure that you're not seeing anything that shouldn't be there, like the 3 things on our list. But parasites and their eggs. Now, I do have tips coming up, which is going to be very helpful. So if you're squeamish, let's look at some of these parasites. Should we play a little game? The parasite game? Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's throw up a parasite, guys. Behind the scenes, my team behind the scenes, can we throw up a parasite? Okay, does anybody know what this type of parasite is called? Please put it in the comments. We're gonna play a little game. Let's just see. We are live, Jules. Thank you for tuning in, and our pre-recorded shows are still available in long form, so you can check them out on the different platforms. Okay, we are live right now, though, Jules, so I hope you're paying attention. Oh, fruity raspberry gum. I love your handle name, and you are very, very right. Nick Che, Joe, Etek, Sin, Kathy, oh my goodness, Kathy, another Kathy, Uncle Louie, you've got it. Okay, Music Addict, Lemji, VZ, did I say that right? Petula, Julia, yes. Okay, everybody's very aware of flukes. And where could flukes be in the body? Well, they can be in the liver, they can be in the brain. So when we look at Lucy really quickly, did you know that flukes can actually affect behavior? Yeah, they can make people crazy, and they're parasites. So this is really, really important, okay? They can be in the liver as well. So here's Lucy's liver. Flukes are commonly in the liver. Okay, let's go to our next game. Okay, let's name another parasite. Is everybody ready for the next one? Okay, these are not good. Oh, that's an actual specimen. Here we go. Even makes my stomach turn, and I talk about these things all the time a little bit. Let's see. What is this one right here? Oh, I know. Yes, Sam behind the scenes loves parasites. No, just kidding. He's like, ooh, squeamish. Yeah, I know. Does anybody know? Okay. Rafina, like that answer. Yes. Isn't this funny that we're talking about this? Yes. Yes. Okay. I'm still waiting. Rafina is the only one that I think is correct at the time. Yes. All right. They are. Yes, humility is Yapa B. You've got it right. I'm going to give it, Trish, good try. A lot of people are saying one thing. And I think, okay, I know gross, LLLL, yes, we are talking grossness right now. We're talking about how to get our gut more healthy is what we're talking about. So this is really important. And we're talking about, if you're just tuning in, things that we should never see in our poop. Okay, this is one of them. All right. I think I gave, yes, KW Sherry, you got it right. So pinworms is a type of round worm. So these are round worms, okay? They're white little round worms, and their eggs can also be in the poop. Tony Jacobs, yes, you got it. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is our parasite guessing game. I've never done this before, so just so that everybody knows, this is actually really fun for me. Okay, everybody knows what this one is? Please enlighten us. Please let me know that you know your bugs. Cola, thank you for sharing. Please make sure that everybody is sharing today's live. I don't know if your friends want to get in on the fun of naming the parasites. Hello, Miss Mustafa, Mrs. Mustafa, nice to see you. And do we have the answer? Yes. Okay, Joe Etik, Sin, Catherine. We have some parasite professionals here. You guys know your stuff. Nurse Becky. Yes, Nurse Becky. Good job. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so yes, Nadia, MC Calibro, 66. I think we have it. Yes, Julie Melby. Yes, you've got it. So this is the hookworm, and it's called the hookworm because it basically has these fangs. Do I have an? Oh, I have another one here. This is the one that I always use on TV. There we go. See the hookworm? So see those fangs? This is the actual image of it, like really blown up with an electron microscope. There we see it. Those are the hooks. That's the hookworm, and it hooks onto the intestinal wall, and you can have this in your intestines forever and not necessarily know that it's there. Okay, let's play another one. Okay, what's next? What's next? Do we have more parasites? I think we have at least one more. Ah, here we go. This is from that movie, if anybody's seen that movie. Snatched. There we go. Everybody know what this one is? Of course. Yes, I see that. I see that. Fruity Raspberry Gum knows his or her parasites. Yes, you do. Doug knows his parasites as well. Zador Ryan, 000. Let's see. Nurse Becky, yes, of course. Yes, Kimberly, good job. Something's burning. No, they're not aliens. This is the tapeworm. Why is it called a tapeworm? Well, it's very flat. So you can see those segments are very flat. It looks like a piece of tape. Each segment of a tapeworm can lay 1,000 eggs at once. Yeah, isn't that scary? So this is why having a healthy gut, if you're seeing some of this stuff, don't worry, I've got you. I actually have, some great protocols on how to get rid of parasites if you've not yet seen my posts on that, and, entire cleansing protocols, how to do that. So make sure that you are getting some more information if you see any of these things. And of course, you're checking with your doctor, absolutely, to make sure that you don't have these. Okay, we've got a couple more parasites. One more. What is this? Does anybody know what this is? It's a type of parasite. I have another picture here, which might be a little bit more telling. Let me see. Where are you? There we go. Oh, there we go. I almost gave it away. Fruity Raspberry Gum. Yes, Nadia, of course. KQN68. Hello, nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I see some of my followers who have been here for years, it's so great when I see your names and I recognize your names, which is a BZeeb as well. Hello, Rula. Yes, exactly. Good job, Jewberry. And Kathy has it as well. Music Addict. Hello. And that is right, Lori and Jacques. Yes, good job. Moshi, Ramoon, good job. Yvette, Zelda, good job. Okay, yes, so this is Candida. Yes, Candida. There we go. And I think we have one more parasite. What is this one called? Does anybody know what this one is? And there's different varieties of this type, but I'm going to give you the overarching. What is this called? Does anybody know? I'm waiting for, was it Nurse Becky? Yes. Let's see, what type of parasite is this? Let's go, let's go. I know, it's gross, isn't it? It's so much fun. But yes, the quizzes are so much fun. We have a couple more quiz questions in the show when you can actually win a prize as well. Yes, good job. Incorrect spelling, but it could be Joe Edick. Yes, Nick Che. I love this. People are so informed with their parasites. This is amazing. Mary. Yes, so this could be, and I have another picture here, this type of parasite. Remind me that everybody, that we play the parasite game again. This was so much fun. We'll do it in a future show. Maybe we'll actually play for prizes next time for the parasites. Protozoa, and Giardia is one of the type of protozoa. So yes, whoever said that, I know the spelling, your spell correct is making it go kind of weird into something else, but you are correct. Awesome, good job, everyone. Good job. Okay, so that was fun. Now let's continue and let's share our viewer spotlight. And this was someone who, and Charlene, thank you so much, said, love your advice and recommendations on making health better. So thank you so much, Charlene. That was so kind of you. We always like to call out our great followers, and please hit that follow button if you're new or you're here for the first time. Make sure that you're subscribed as well, and hit that share button as well. Now, we're going to talk a little bit, and I will give you some tips on what to do and how to deal with those parasites. So that will be coming up in today's show, okay? So you saw those icky little monsters. Well, I've got some tips on how to clear those up. And we're also talking about fatty liver. So continuing the conversation, because the question came up a few times, okay, what causes fatty liver? Besides the fact that we talked about fructose and fruit juice and fake juice, that's something that we talked about in last week's show, that fatty liver is something that has a number of causes, and you could have one or more of the causes that will help to manifest the fatty liver. But let's talk about what they are so that maybe you can start to mitigate what you do in your daily life so that you're not developing fatty liver. And more importantly, it is reversible. So you can actually heal a fatty liver, and I've got tips for that in other videos. But let's talk about first some of those main causes of fatty liver. Okay, number one on the list is alcohol. So there's non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, but even if you're drinking too many drinks socially and you're not an alcoholic, that alcohol is not great for that liver, okay? So that's really important, very preventable. So just sort of easing off the alcohol consumption, doing some detoxification. If you do overdo it with the alcohol as a full body detox, that would be something that I recommend. Okay, number two, sugar. So this is when we talked about fake juice last week. That sugar, especially fructose, so fruit sugar even. So you're drinking your fruit juice and you think, oh, this is a healthy thing to do. Amazing, amazing, but not so amazing because that fructose has a different metabolism. It goes straight to your liver, and this is what will now compromise that liver health because now you're spiking your blood glucose levels, and that insulin resistance and leptin resistance is also related to that fatty liver, which I'll be talking about in just a second, okay? So number three is environmental toxins. So we're talking about things like burning candles in your home can lead to fatty liver because your body's got to detoxify those toxins that you're actually inhaling and is coming in through your skin as well. Laundry soap is another one, huge toxic load that you can actually very easily make your own laundry soap. I do have that recipe. It's something that I'm going to be sharing and talking about, I believe, next week again in next week's show, which is so important. I just mixed another batch. And it's so easy, like the ingredients are incredibly easy to make your own laundry soap. So make sure you tune in next week, we'll talk about that. Another type of environmental toxin in your home is cosmetics. So what you're putting on your skin, your shampoos, your conditioners, anything that touches your skin is absorbed. And this is something that we have to be really aware of. So doing everything a little bit more naturally is definitely the way that you want to go to protect from that fatty liver. And of course, pollution is another type of environmental toxin. Of course, the air that we're breathing, the water that we're drinking. We know that we don't live in a pristine environment anymore. So please say hello. Thank you so much, Salma, for the follow, Empress for the follow. So many new people. Kimberly, thank you for sharing today's live. So everybody hit that share button 5, 10, 15 times. That would be great. Truly appreciate it. We have a couple more quiz questions coming up, so don't go anywhere because this is a very interactive, you can win a prize. Very interactive show, you're gonna love that. Let's continue my list really quickly. Okay, number 4 is leptin resistance. So that's something that we've talked about in previous shows. If you don't know what this is, just check out a few of my videos on leptin resistance. Leptin is a hormone given off by your fat cells and affects your brain chemistry. And when you've got a resistance with leptin, this is going to lead to a lot of weight gain, as well as now you've got a lot of inflammation in the system, and that will affect your liver function as well. As well as number 5 on my list, which is another cause of fatty liver, is insulin resistance. Okay, so that is something, the two go hand in hand, and when you're not balancing your blood glucose levels, your insulin secretion gets compromised. That is related back to the leptin resistance, and this is going to be a problem in terms of your liver being able to handle that hormonal load and what's going on in terms of your metabolism and maybe even metabolic syndrome, which we know with metabolic syndrome, then our cholesterol levels go up in a bad way, and there's a lot of inflammation, high blood pressure as well, and central obesity. So where's Mr. Fat? So that fat, okay, too much fat in the midsection with metabolic syndrome is going to make that fatty liver issue worse. Okay, so targeting that belly fat is something that I talk a lot about in my content, and there are ways and tips to be able to do that. Now, we're gonna go over here and now talk about why, you've heard me say before, and maybe not if you're new here, something that's very controversial. And it's funny because we go away on our family trips and I observe everybody around. There are very few people that do not wear sunglasses when you're at the beach or at the pool or in like bright sunlight, okay? So I want everybody to be honest here. Please, in the comments, I see so many follows and shares coming in. Thank you so much. Okay, please be honest. Everybody put the sunglasses emoji if you're one of those people that always has your sunglasses on when you are outside. And some people even wear them inside. And I know a few of those, and I'm not sure why, and I've never asked because I just don't know why. But why, and how many people? Patricia, Melissa, I'm not calling you out, I'm just saying you're being very honest. Best in Homes, or Best Tindy Homes, E1, 1E, Joe Lives, Cindy Harmony Lane, Jennifer Marie, Millie De La Prida. We're talking about 5 reasons not to wear sunglasses in just a few moments. I just want to see how many more people. Yes, I know. Lynn, you wear your sunglasses. Tammy, Susan, Sadie, Karen, Steven, Sweetness 2027, Suzanne, Lily Gray, McCurdy, Diane. All right, I've got a lot of sunglasses. Pro Wellerable. Who else? Steph Reynolds. Liberty Goddess 1776. That's what I like to see. Sun gazing. What does that mean? That means without the sunglasses. And most times you're not looking directly at the sun. You're keeping your eyes closed for sun gazing, right? Maybe we'll have a little episode on sun gazing. Nadella, Pranitha, okay, a lot of people are wearing their sunglasses. Okay, so maybe I'll put them up here for a second. We will be talking about castor oil to help with your eyes and your vision, but let's first talk about some reasons not to wear sunglasses. Okay, so I've got 5 reasons why we should not always be wearing our sunglasses. Okay, reason number 1, seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? Sunburn, I'm talking about on your skin. So did you know, and this is something that I've written about in my next book, which is due to launch very soon, so make sure you're on our mailing list, you're following me. Thank you for subscribing as well, because we will definitely let all of my followers know, so you get the pre-sale of the book. And I've written about this, that when you're wearing sunglasses in that bright sun, then your brain is getting the wrong signal to be able to protect your skin and make your own internal sunscreen. Then that's what our body does from histidine. It makes our own natural sunscreen. Now, if you're blocking your eyes from that natural sunlight, your brain is getting the signal that it's a cloudy day, no need to make sunscreen, no need to thicken the skin, no need to protect your skin. So you're going to fry your skin when you wear sunglasses all the time. When you're trying to protect your eyes, you're trying to protect your skin. Yeah, not a good idea. And this is remarkable. When I started to learn this information, I'm like, wow, couldn't this really be? Because I don't know if you can tell, I have very, very light skin and I freckle very easily. Since I was a little girl, it's just from my Northern European descent. not a lot of melanin in my skin. Well, here's the thing. When I started to learn about this and started to really test this out, going on sunny holidays and not wear sunscreen or sunglasses, it was amazing that I didn't burn. And I'm like, how can this be? I've done it wrong all my life, which most people have. And the evidence shows that we need to get that proper signaling of that natural light in our eyes to protect our skin so we don't get a sunburn. That's why you don't wear the sunglasses. Okay, number 2. Melatonin secretion. So yeah, that proper sunlight exposure throughout the day, and it changes the different wavelengths from the sun, that is going to help with our melatonin for later at night for sleep. So if you see early morning sunlight, getting natural light in your eye, and I'm never saying to look directly at the sun, of course that's not healthy, but that natural sunlight in your eyes, especially in the morning, programs your melatonin and your serotonin during the day, but your melatonin for being able to sleep at night. So no sunglasses. Okay, number 3 can also lead to vision loss. Yeah, so natural sunlight in your eyes is actually healing to your eyes, whereas blue light, so what do we do all day in our jobs and on our screens? Everybody's looking at a screen right now, and we're under artificial lights. We're not under natural sunlight. That is very damaging to the eyes, even more so in terms of cataracts and things, which we'll talk about in terms of not wearing sunglasses, okay? Number 4 is hormonal balance. So balancing all of our circadian rhythms, even our poops, which is number 5, is related back to not wearing sunglasses. So we don't want to, and I'll have Mr. Poop, or do I call it Mr. Poop, the poop platter? Here we go. Our hormones, our leptin signaling, our melatonin secretion, our serotonin, everything is related to natural sunlight coming in our eyes. And of course, those wavelengths change throughout the day. So this is why you definitely want to get your circadian rhythms back in sync, because even as we saw number 5 on the list, was your poops are regulated by the light, the natural light of the day. Okay, so if you're having issues with either IBS, you've got inflammatory gut disorders, you have, a lot of constipation, so you don't have healthy poops, you've got this one going on, or maybe it's even the rabbit types of pellets, it could be because you're wearing your sunglasses. Now, have you ever put that connection together? You've got to get some natural sunlight in your eyes, especially in the morning. This will help to regulate your circadian rhythms and get your poops going. I hope that helps you. Please share. You've got a friend, somebody who needs to know this information, especially all those sunglasses wearing people that I saw. And there we go. And there's no correlation. So I see some comments coming in. There's no correlation with sunlight exposure and doing it in the right way with skin conditions and skin cancer. The actual opposite is true, and there are studies that actually prove that. So thank you for putting that in the comments, because I was waiting for that. And thank you so much. Okay, we are at quiz question number 2. Everybody ready? Okay, so we are playing for the VitaTree Nutritionals Collagen. All right, so you have the ability to win this prize. We thank our sponsor, VitaTree Nutritionals. This is super exciting. This is what you're playing for, and it's not often that we have the collagen as the prize for the show. So this is super exciting, okay? Very super popular, product, and everybody loves collagen. All right, is everybody ready for this? All you have to do, let me just explain this. All you have to do is put your answer in. Even if it's a guess, you don't have to answer correctly, because we randomly take all of our participants who do comment and put them into a random selector to pick our winner every week. Okay, are we ready? I hope everybody was paying attention. Here is quiz question number 2. Name a cause of fatty liver. Okay, you've got 30 seconds on the clock. Everybody get your answers in now. Name a cause of fatty liver. All right, we have 10 seconds on the clock. I hope everybody was paying attention. Yes, I see lots of good answers, a lot of easy answers. I was hoping somebody would put some of the harder ones. Yes, Lynn, I like your answer. Good job. Yes, okay, yes, yes, and yes, and yes. And my favorite answer, did I see it? Yes, okay, I saw it. It scrolled away. I got it. I was looking for Habiba, thank you so much. You're so kind. Thank you. Okay, all those lovely comments coming in, and everybody who's tapping their screen and sending all those likes and the hearts and all the love and the gifts and all those things. Thank you so much. I know I can't always call you out during the show. All right, here we go. I'm very appreciative. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, here we go. Here's our answers. So, of course, alcohol. So a lot of you said alcohol, cause of fatty liver. Sugar, of course, that fructose. A few of you said that. Environmental toxins. I'm not sure if I saw that one. And glossy green. Yes, that's the one I was looking for. The leptin resistance. And, of course, insulin resistance as well. And Renee had those answers. Flo La Fleur TV. Yes, good. You got it. And Ashia, good job. Okay, and Frozen's Matt, yes, stress will cause fatty liver as well. Absolutely. Stress is a big cause of a lot of problems. Okay, now I promised I would give you some tips how to deal with those parasites. We also have our final quiz question coming up, so you still have an opportunity. It's not too late for you to participate. Thank you for all the new followers here and everybody sharing today's live. Amazing, amazing. I see all of you. Dinesh, thank you so much. I think you've shared it like 15 times, so thank you so much. Debbie, thank you for the follow. Extameo, thank you for the follow. Rosie as well, thank you so much. Okay, let's talk about some tips for those parasites. So if you're just tuning in, we showed you some really fun pictures of some nasty parasites. They're behind me as well. And yeah, that's the one that makes even me queasy, the roundworms. And let's talk about, okay, what can we do to get rid of these guys? And of course, to do it naturally. So parasite cleansing, doing it naturally. There's the tapeworm behind me as well. We talked about the candida. So all of these tips are actually appropriate for candida cleansing as well. Okay, here we go. Number one tip for parasites, and you're going to see a few of my favorite herbal medicines that I actually like to take in combination. I do it preventatively in combination, whether I think I've got, something going on in my gut or not. This is what I like to do. Okay, so number one, cloves are fantastic. They actually help to kill the eggs of parasites as well. So that's really important, to kill parasites and their eggs, the larvae, through their cycle. And there's a special way that I like to prescribe doing that. Okay, number two is Artemisia. Okay, number three, and you're going to see where I'm going with this. You've heard me talk about this maybe before if you're a follower. Black walnut, and if you're subscribed to my channel, you know what's coming next. Number four is oregano. So you can see when I talk about cabo, C, cloves, artemisia, black walnut, oregano, cabo. Those are my favorite 4 herbal medicines to help to kill the parasites, the adult worms, and their eggs, the larvae. Really important, okay? Very effective, very effective. I've used these for years with my patients with huge amounts of success and no negative side effects for the most part. I mean, the odd person might feel a little bit of something going on, but you want something to happen. I mean, you want to be killing these parasites off and getting rid of them for good. Okay, please hit that share button. Thank you so much. And I know that there's questions coming in, so don't forget that tomorrow, so I don't know if we can flip to this really quickly. Tomorrow, please make sure that you're tuning in to my live Q&A. I can't get to all the questions that come up during the live show on Tuesdays. So now on Wednesdays, you can ask me these very specific questions. So keep your questions in mind if I don't answer them today. Hashtag Ask Dr. Janine. Start using that hashtag as well. And please tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? 1 p.m. on Wednesdays, and you can ask away. We do a little sit down, chit chat, and I answer your questions. And it's very informative for a lot of people, and we usually will focus in on some of the things that we talked about in the Tuesday show, in today's show. So keep your questions, okay? Don't forget them, and make sure you're writing them down, and then you can ask me tomorrow if I didn't get to your question today. All right, let's continue. Number 5, so besides the herbal medicines, the cabo, you've got to limit the sugar. So the bugs, especially that candida, and some of these other guys, they love sugar. And that's one of the reasons why often you may be craving that sugar, is because you've got a lot of these organisms that have overgrown, and this becomes a fungal form and starts to form these biofilms in your gut with the candida, makes you crave a lot of sugar. Okay, so you've got to limit that sugar. They start to starve out. They're not happy, and then you hit them, you wacko with those herbal medicines, with the cabo. Amazing. Okay, and that's why I said I do have a little protocol, and that's something that we can talk about actually tomorrow. The protocol, exactly how I like to do this with using those herbal medicines, because we don't have time to get to it today. Okay, number 6. on the list is probiotics. So let's talk about probiotics for just a second. Probiotics are the good guys. They're the healthy flora that are in your gut. And when we talk about having that healthy flora, we definitely want to make sure that we don't have the unhealthy microbiome. So here you can see the intestinal worms, those bad guys, the parasites, their eggs, not a healthy diversity of those gut bugs. We want to have healthy flora. If you look here, this is a healthier microbiome. We've got more of the good guys, the probiotics. That's what probiotics are. They mean good biota, good biotics, live microorganisms. We've got to have enough of the good guys because they crowd out the bad guys. So even if those bad guys wanted to get in, because it's crowded out, we've got enough of those good flora, they can't get in and they can't penetrate the intestinal wall. That's just one mechanism how having enough good microbiome, good probiotics in your gut will actually help to protect you from those parasites. So again, part of my protocol that I share with people is, do the kill phase, and you got to put the good guys back in, your probiotics, limit that sugar, and a part of that protocol is number 7 on the list is that full body detox. So did you know that Candida gives off, for an example, over 60 different toxins. So imagine you're killing it. And this is why people, when they do parasite cleansing or candida cleansing in the wrong way, they don't feel so well. And that's because of those toxins. It's called the Herxheimer reaction because of those toxins that are being given off as well by the bugs that you're actually killing. So you got to deal with that toxic load, and that's why using some herbal medicines for a full body detox is the best way to go, okay? All right, I hope everybody, you've got the ability to screenshot that really quickly so that you have it. Again, if you have questions, specific questions, that's something that I can answer in tomorrow's live at 1 p.m. All right, everybody's got it. Now I just want to say a quick shout out to my super fans. So thank you so much to all of you. You're so generous throughout the shows. Thank you so much. Your generosity is amazing, and I love you all. Continue to keep tuning in and supporting the work that I do, and of course my channels. And thank you for following and subscribing and donating money, and you're so generous, and I see all those hearts and the gifts coming in through the live shows. I don't always call you all out, but I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Okay, we're talking about castor oil now, and in a different way to use castor oil. And let's go over to the beauty set really quickly. When we're talking about vision, so I've had some questions about this. And hey, by the way, if you missed last week's, we actually made a beautiful eyelash serum. So how many of you are making that eyelash serum? Before I get to how we're using castor oil for our vision, please put some lashes in the emojis. Let me see if did anybody try to make the eyelash serum, which is amazing. It is so amazing for your eyelash growth. You will absolutely love it. I don't see any lashes coming in, or if you just love the recipe. Okay, and we do have that recipe, so I'm going to call that up in just a second. Lashes, again, for the win. Yes, I see some eyes, I see some lashes. Okay, we're going to pull up that recipe in just a second, but I first want to talk about the castor oil for vision because this question has come up. It came up last week during the live show, and it's super easy, and I will be answering some of your questions in just a few moments as well. Okay, so yes, for the vision, so remember, our vision is very much affected by the natural light that comes into our eyes. Now, if you're just tuning in, we talked about why we should not be wearing sunglasses, and we want to protect the lens of the eye. And one of the most damaging things to the lens of the eye, which you can actually form cataracts, is not from natural sunlight exposure. It's from blue light. So all that blue light that we have from all of the artificial lights that we're looking at on our screens and during the day in our homes, the energy efficient light bulbs, the LEDs, very damaging to the eyes, can cause those cataracts. And that's what the evidence shows. It's something that I've talked about in a previous episode, that even more catarogenic, so making cataracts in the eyes, is the blue light versus natural UV from the sun, okay? So I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you stare at the sun without your sunglasses. I'm saying being, mindful of natural light coming in your eyes and less of the blue light is really important. Okay, now how can we help our vision with that castor oil? Well, it's really simple. You're going to get a high quality castor oil, ideally in a glass bottle. And what I do is I just pour a little bit into my palm at bedtime, and you just rub it right on your closed eyelids. Okay, and castor oil by its nature is a little bit goopy. It's a little bit sticky, and depending on which one you buy, it should not have any bad smell to it. I've purchased some that were not the best. You know, you've got to get a high quality one, but rubbing that on your eyelids at bedtime is amazing for vision. Now, there is a little bit of evidence out there. So not a lot of people have studied this in terms of the science world, but let's take a look at this study because it does help with lubrication of the eyes. And of course, proper lubrication, and it's because of that main constituent, which you've heard me talk about before, the ricinoleic acid, has bipolar molecular structure and promotes the formation of esters, amides, and polymers. And these can help with the physiological tear film lipids. So actually helps with, because our tears are made up of, yes, water, but also they have a fatty attribute to them, and that's what actually helps to clear our vision, is to have enough tears. And one of the things that we make a mistake of is not blinking enough, especially when we're on our devices all day. So everybody wants you to blink like 10 times right now to help to lubricate your eyes. But I do want you to try this with the castor oil. And there is some also anecdotal evidence that castor oil on the eyelids at bedtime improves vision, so helps to clear up vision and also helps with those cataracts. And that cataract formation helps to actually get rid of the cataracts. Now I've got other things that I love for cataracts and have some great evidence behind, anecdotal again, but from, you know, people that have taken specific things together, and that's something that we can talk about. If anybody wants more eye and vision stuff, put some eyeballs in your emojis. If you want me to talk more about eye health and how to clear up some issues in the eyes, that's something that we can talk about in a future show. But this is amazing to know that there is evidence behind specific carotenoids that, yes, okay, Jules wants more eye, and BB, and a lot of people want a lot more eye information. We'll definitely do that. Maria Pavlov, I see that. BZ, yes, Sin Catherine, Nick Che, Frozen's Matt, please talk about the eye. Kush is saying that, okay, absolutely, we will talk more about eye health. Okay, and that's something that I can definitely shed some light on and what the research shows in terms of what you can do naturally for your eyes. Thank you for sharing today's live, everybody. It's so great to have you all here today. If you're just tuning in, we've talked about poop. We've talked about parasites. We've talked about eyes and what we can do with the castor oil. Hey, if you missed last week's show, let's bring this up really quickly. I don't want anybody to miss this recipe for the eyelash serum. It is incredible. I hope that you're all going to try it. Let's bring it up really quickly. So you're going to open up 2 capsules, and this is what we did last week during the live show. And you can actually watch me doing it if you search up last week's show. 2 capsules of the 400 IU vitamin E. You're going to open that up, so you're going to pierce them, squeeze it in, and you're going to use a teaspoon of castor oil, a teaspoon of sweet almond oil, and a teaspoon of coconut oil. You're going to mix that up, and you can keep it in a glass jar, or you can buy these little mascara wand thingies. And if you are going to do it in the mascara wand, make sure you take off the excess. So this is something that I showed you last week. There's going to be far too much on than what you need on that mascara wand brush, and then you can just use this. Once you've got all that excess off, you're going to use that on your lashes at bedtime. Amazing for your lash growth. Give it a month. You will be amazed at how. So this is something that is fantastic. Then you're going to use your castor oil on your eyelids, of course, at bedtime to help with your vision. And I've got other videos about how to use castor oil for different things. Of course, the castor oil fat for melting that belly fat, which is amazing as well. So you can check out those previous videos. And maybe we can even pull it up if anybody wants to hear about burning that belly fat. I don't know if we can find that right now, but that's something that we do have a recipe for with specific essential oils for blasting away that belly fat. So just put yes, belly fat, and we will pull up that recipe possibly. If we can, oh, we have it. Oh my goodness, my team is like, yes, yes. On the money today with, of course, here's our recipe for the pack. This is for the belly fat pack. Okay, so if you want to screenshot this, yeah, okay, Carmen, we got it. Poof, we've got it. Here is for the belly fat. It's castor oil, some grapefruit essential oil, and 1 drop of ylang ylang essential oil. You're going to mix that together. And that's what you are doing. Now, Carla, if you're underweight, yes, you're not doing this for your belly fat because you probably don't have any. And a lot of people would be Loving that situation. But yes, you can either be too thin or have too much weight on. Finding that balance for everybody, that is the key. But if you're looking to blast away that belly fat, there you go. And doing that castor oil pack, which is something that I can show you tomorrow in the live Q&A. I can show you how you wrap that around your midsection, and I've got a little hack for that. So that's something we can talk about tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow that I bring that up. Please tune in and use that hashtag Ask Dr. Janine tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please tune in, ask some questions. Hey, even if it's just to say hello. Frida, hello, nice to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please tune in tomorrow for that. Okay, so here we go. We are at quiz question number 3 already. Okay, is everybody ready to answer this? All right, remember we're playing for the collagen from our great sponsors at Vitatree Nutritionals, Whole Food Vitamins. Thank you. We thank them for sponsoring the Doctor Janine Show. Is everybody ready? All right, here we go. Name something you should never see in your poop. You've got 30 seconds on the clock. Get your answers in now. Okay, we've got about 15 seconds on the clock. Let's see, what are those answers coming in? Yes, 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 Ms. B, thank you for the follow. And do you want tea? Yes, I do love my tea. Thank you for following. Great to have you here today for the first time. And everybody got their answers in? Yeah, okay, good, good, good. I see a lot of good answers. Yeah, they're not nice things to ever see in your poop, but those are good answers, everyone. Carla, Granola Mama, yeah, you got it. Okay, so 3, and this is something, if you're just tuning in now and you're like, what is going on here? What are these people talking about? Well, this is the Dr. Janine Show. We do talk about poop. We talk about healthy digestion as well. And today we went through some things that we shouldn't see in the poop. Okay, let's reveal. What are some things? We should never see blood. We should never see undigested food. We should not see parasites and their eggs. And we focused a little bit on parasites. We played that fun parasite game today, which was amazing. So give me a thumbs up if you want to play that game again about the parasites now that everybody knows the answers. That was a lot of fun. Okay, awesome, awesome. Great to have you all here today. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in, and you're tuning in for the first time. Thank you so much. And yeah, exactly. Okay, yes, we will play that parasite game again when we name the different parasites. Today we did talk about castor oil for your vision. We also talked about some fake vitamin ingredients that, something to look for on your labels. We talked about that microcrystalline cellulose. So if you missed any of that, we can pull that up really quickly and I can show that to you really quickly. And two-sided has some more vision questions. So yes, two-sided definitely for myopia. We will be talking about that, I believe, next week. I think that's the plan, is that we're going to be talking about a little bit more and delving into things that we can do specifically for healthy vision. But try the castor oil. Castor oil on the eyelids at bedtime can be very, very balancing and nourishing to the eyes, helps with the tears, and of course blinking and your tears help for the light to actually focus at the back of the eye, which is really important. Okay. That's so good, Carla, that your doctor was happy that you knew about the bad fillers in the vitamins. I'm very impressed that the doctor would even know, because a lot of doctors simply don't know. It's not something that I ever learned when I was learning medicine, and it's not something that was taught. It was something that I had to do a lot of investigation and research my own in terms of what fake vitamins versus, some healthier vitamins and whole food vitamins and what makes the difference, which is really important. Okay, awesome. Hello, Dr. Deepak from India. Nice to have you here. Thank you so much. I love it when other doctors tune in. And I have a lot of followers that are doctors, actually, which is amazing that, we're spreading the news in a good way about how you can heal yourself naturally, of course, from the inside out, and that whole mind, body, spirit connection. We will be starting new podcasts. So that channel is opening up with my podcasts, and working behind the scenes a lot now with interviewing different experts in different fields, which I know you're going to love, because if you love my content, you're going to love the podcast. And it's fantastic for me to be able to interact with experts in different regions of, a lot of what I research and the content that I share, which is amazing. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning in. Now, if you will, please tune in tomorrow. Don't forget that the Q&A is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our next show, we also plan to talk a little bit about perfume. good, bad, and the ugly. We'll talk about some skin conditions as well. I will share that recipe on how I make my laundry soap because I know a lot of you are waiting for that. And we'll talk a little bit about skin conditions like psoriasis, eczema, and treating these things from the inside out. A little bit on vision as well because I know a lot of people are waiting to hear about some tips for clearer vision. We will share that next week as well. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in today. It's so wonderful to have you all here today. Make sure that you are keeping yourself healthy and well in mind, body, and spirit. My mission is always to empower you and educate you over the healing of your own body, mind, and spirit, and of course, doing it naturally. We'll see you tomorrow for the Q&A. Ask Dr. Janine, #, use that hashtag. We'll see you then.